Good morning to you all. I do just a quick video showing the garden, the plants, the greenhouse, but a quick one. So there's not much doing now. It's not particularly warm at the moment. Looking at the temperature, it's now have a little look. It's 40 degrees Fahrenheit or 5 degrees Celsius or centigrade. Yeah, let's have a quick look in the other greenhouse. Not my favourite time of year, as I've said on numerous occasions. Stepping inside, now I've noticed some of these Eriosychus bits are starting to grow. I always thought these were an easy plant to grow, but I've got my doubts now. I haven't needed to use any heat in here yet, but I think it's going to be soon. I will have to. This side's my virtual potting shed. The heater I use. More of the plants. And they're soaking wet. Now where's that coming? I'm going to move those because they're getting wet. I think it's coming out of that roof. It looks okay, but it's obviously damp, so I'll have to move them. Some of the other plants not looking too bad, not looking too good either. I don't like this time of year. Most of these might end up being taken to a boot fair. Well, they started that one up at St Heliers, but unfortunately it's on its winter rest, so it won't be appearing till next May. I think it's May. A few more bits and bobs. This one there is Aloe Variegator. It lost its roots, and I'm trying to make it grow new roots. A few bulbs in the corner there, so you can't get away from the bulbs. These are actually photo flash bulbs, which are kept outside. The danger that they could fire and actually make a fire, so by having them out here it's not going to burn the house down. Oh, this stuff's quite wet. I didn't realise that. My little power unit there. Yeah, they're quite good. As I say, it's only got one thing plugged into it. My other one is on a computer, which is full of sockets. The heater. Anyhow, excuse the mess, as I do use this as a potting shed as well. Emergency lighting, which is it's still working. That's good actually. This is a lantern or a lamp I picked up at the boot sale. The battery in it's rechargeable. It's very, very good because that was charged up ages ago. You know, now if you get a power cut, I can use that. The electric's up there. It's, I mentioned that bulb before. Self-ballasted mercury vapour. Self-ballasted. It's got a filament inside which acts as the ballast. Now let's wander out, have a look down the garden. There's one of the palms now. I think that's a phoenix palm. I believe that's what it's called. Get a better view of it. That just grows. I'm having to cut the leaves off. I planted it there, and of course it's very close to the path. It has to be kept in trim. Don't mind our weather at all. How the Opuntia's done. That's Opuntia robusta. And in the corner there we've got Opuntia compressor. I'm going to have to sort that Sansevieria out as well. It's not doing very well. It's not doing well at all. I've dried it out, but I'm going to have to take that into the greenhouse before there's chances of frost. Cycad, that's been out, as I've said before, for years. No problem. Got another Opuntia at the back there, just poking through. The good old yucca, which I've seen it's had numerous blooms. They're still showing blooms, still showing buds. This one I have to sort of cut back so I can get through the path. The plants did do very well this summer. Tree ferns, they're not too bad either. There's two of them there. I've had those a few years. The plant we're looking at now is the Aspidestra. Those pads there from that Opuntia, I'd have to chop them off because they were going right across the path. The other tree fern. Canna in the pot there. Turning round, we've got a fairly large Opuntia. Look at the fruits on it. All the Opuntia stay outside the whole year round. The pond, which there's a goldfish there. That's someone. Oh, that's. I'm gonna have to. Oh, he's okay. He's not. He can get out to the main part of the pond. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, he's got out. This pond I'm going to have to take down next spring. Clear the plants at the back. Ivy everywhere, blooming stuff. The only way to do that is to move the pond out and move it down the other end. The other Opuntia there, I think it's possibly the same species. I think it's Angelmanii. You can see Opuntias have been growing rather well this year. About 3 or 4 species. How I'm going to move the pond, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to that. I've got to do it in such a way as to look after the fish, because they've had quite a few young. Now the pond's over this side, which is needing a bit of work done on as well. So I think next summer I'm going to be quite busy. This summer I had to take it a bit easier. There's a couple of spare areas to keep fish in, but I normally put some lilies in there. They're not, I say, this time of year stuff tends to not be that good. There's another yucca. That one I have to cut back at times. It gets too close to the path. We've got a bamboo behind there. They can be a bit invasive. And this old plant's come back again. I thought I'd lost that. I'm trying to think the name of it has slipped me at the moment. The shed, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be replaced next year. It's leaking like the proverbial sieve. And I might get rid of that shed as well. I'll get rid of those two, have a nice new shed in its place. I can put all the things back in it, tools and working stuff. We've got the old greenhouse now, the Mezem house. Well, they're not looking too bad. The weeds are doing well. It was doing well, doing things. Got herianthus in bloom, white flower. These are not bad. I don't know, they seem to have lost their sparkle. Look at those. Shows you how often I've been down here. A species of herianthus. I find sometime by neglect or perhaps withholding the water and that it makes the plants bloom. But this lot I want to sort through and do a bit of work too. The Agardermas, Testudinaria, Phlokia crispa. They've certainly perked up quite a bit. I was wondering what I could smell. It's those Glottiphyllums. So I've got some of my bulb friends are interested in the plants as well, which is nice. I can imagine one of them will be looking at this video and say now some are very, very keen. The flowers on that Conophytum. And all the plants there. Next year I'm going to be very busy, I think, sorting the plants out, sorting the greenhouse out where the plants are. So those Agardermas are quite nice. They're all silver skins. Agarderma means silver skins. I was very impressed with one of my subscribers was talking about hazelnuts, and he even gave the Latin name, which I thought was very good. It's a pity we don't speak a language which is understood everywhere like Latin. When it comes to doing foreign languages, I'm out of my depth. There's a Chirodopsis there. That's got a bud there, one there. Oh, I'm glad I came down here. There's Chirodopsis candidissima. Well, that's the old name, that's the name I know it by, and that's the name I'm sticking with. The old electrics there. I've always got indication in each greenhouse that the juice is on, the electric's on. I know the stuff I've got there may not be quite what you would expect, but let's say I've had this stuff going for donkey's years. I wired the lot up. Touch wood, it seems to be okay. If I can find some wood. Touching wood. Yeah, that's that greenhouse. Let's have a look outside. Oh, the next greenhouse. Yeah, Puntia house. Let's see what's happening in here. Yes, another house I'm going to have to sort out next year. The electric's at the end. I don't know if you can see that lamp there. It's a neon. It's known as a beehive neon. Our bulb collector will know that quite well. In fact, it's one I think made by Philips. More of the plants. Some more Opuntias. Now this house I tend to run as a cold house. It's if it does get very cold, I've got a heater I can just plug in. There's the hanging lead there which I can plug into. Yeah, they're not looking too bad. That Apuntia's lovely coloration. A lot of people don't grow Apuntias because of the glochids, and they got some nasty spines. Yeah, let's have a look at the big greenhouse. As you can see, we've had a bit of rain, quite a bit of rain. At the moment, the sun's shining. It's nice. Oh, let's have a look in here. Ah, what have we got in here? The heating is on these hotbeds. I think I'll give them a bit of a drink. Some of the plants have gone into rest. Hopefully rest, not dead. Not much luck with these. No, those blooming Dioscocres, they have done nothing except slowly die. There's a gamble we take with these plants. Oh, look at that one. Growing right down there. Good old fluorescent fitting there. That'll probably interest some of our bulb collectors. It's Pachypodium namaquanum. That's a nice one, that. Got one at the back there, the plant growing there, so they're doing quite well. I'm quite pleased with those. This little plant in the front doesn't seem to want to do much. It's got a couple of, it looks like it's just starting to sprout. That, as the label says, is Phocea camura. You have to say that word rather careful. Go along, have a look at the plants. As I say, oh, there's the heater there which I use with the thermostat plug in the Apuntia house. There's another heater down there as well. I know it's not very tidy. Oh, these are not looking too bad. What's that on top of there? Specks of stuff on there. I rather fancy a slug or snail's been up there. They don't seem to be affected by the spines. Pity, really. Blooming things. The Phophoras, they're very prone to red spider damage, as some of these have. As I say, it's a hard job to do. Oh, look at that, it's flowered again. Ariocarpus agavioids, so named because the tubercles resemble an agave. Look at that lovely magenta flower. Quite pleased with that. Some more Apuntias at the back. It looks like I'm going to have to give them a spray. Now, oh look, another one in bloom. Strobiliformis. Yeah, it means like a fir cone. That blooms on that. I just forget some of them. They keep changing them. And now, why does this one not want to grow? This is the old Dioscocrea or Testudinaria elephantipes. I'm hoping it's going to suddenly grow. It's firm, but it won't grow. Hopefully it will sometime. In the front we've got some more Lophophoras. We've got an Ubomania pectifera. Pectifera means a comb, an Aborigines comb. We've got this plant, which is a Monodinium spectabile. Monodinium spectabile. Spectabile meaning spectaculars. Words to that effect. And it's in bloom. Look very careful. They're the flowers. This is in the family Euphorbiaceae, so you know euphorbias don't have exotic flowers. Although the poinsettia has got very bright things that look like flowers, but in fact they're bracts. That's in the Euphorbia family as well. There's good old Euphorbia Susannae, Pachypodium brevicoli. That's a graft. It's actually been grafted. Some more Opuntias. My old Lichtenbergia principus with old flower remains on it. Coming along the front we've got Echeveria lowii. The one in that pot is not looking very good. In fact, we replace that label with RIP. That has had it. They are a gamble. Lowii is not an easy plant to grow. Next to that we've got Tephrocarpus geometricus, another Lophophora, Tephrocarpus molinensis, which unfortunately I'm going to have to get the carving knife out and do a bit of chopping, because this part has been attacked by this horrible black rot, so that's got to be cleaned up, which will mean depotting it, me putting a pair of gloves on because it's covered in glochids, repotting it. I think that's plant at the back. There's Gerodanthus, I'm not too sure. We've got the small-leaved Xeriosicyus. This one grows like a weed. Look at it, it's gone mad. Some more plants here. There's a Lophophora at the back, which I picked up at the last Cactus Mart, along with another Susannae. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but it's got white tips on these. I've tried treating it without any luck. In the front there we've got some Lowii, which were quite small when I got them. They're slowly getting bigger. I'm hoping I can get them through the winter. Coming along a bit, we've got another Aloe variegator, a couple of Awarthia longii, some of the cleaned up mesems. There's still some in there which are going to have to be taken out. Jean's plant there, that's Dideria, oh god, what's it called? I call it the zigzag plant. And next to that, my lovely horse crippler. I'm not saying lovely because it cripples horses, but that is what they call it. That is another plant I got at the Cactus Mart, about a year ago now. Echinocactus texensis. It's always nice to see the Latin names, and I say I was impressed with one of our subscribers. He was talking, he mentioned the Latin name, not of that, of the hazelnut. There's my other Xeriosicyus. It's actually stopped growing now. It's watered still, but not too much. Another Tephrocarpus there with very long spines. I think I picked that up at the last Cactus Mart. I always look forward to those marts, so you never know what you're going to find. There's this plant as well, which is actually a bulb. Albuca spiralis. Spiralis obviously refers to the spiraled shape of the leaves. Spiralis. Coming around a bit, got a few more plants. They're looking not too bad now. And of course the winter growers of these plants here, I've given those a drink, and look at the way they've come up. That's Mariophyllum mayeri. Both names commemorate the same gentleman, Pastor G. Meyer from South Africa. I mentioned these ones. These are fenestrarias, window plants. Fenestra means a window. We've got Chirodopsis peculiaris. They are peculiar, hence the name. I have shown all these before, but this is in different stages of growth. There's a Mitrophyllum here in full bloom. Now they say that's unusual to bloom this plant in England. I can't say I do it regularly, but I have done it in the past. But this year it's really excelled itself and done very well. I'm hoping I'm pointing at the right place. Some more Mitrophyllums or Conophyllums. Mitrophyllum, as I said, refers to the shape of the leaves being like a bishop's mitre or hat, which is divided. Hence the same derivation as the mitral valve in the heart, shaped like a bishop's hat. The mitral valve certainly is. Some more of the plants which I've cleaned up to the best of my ability, and I'm still finding the odd dead one. It's been a disastrous year, as I've said before. I brought in some compost, which I'm not allowed to say where I bought it from. They can sell the crap and get away with it, but I'm not allowed to say where I got it from. If I said it was a large do-it-yourself place, I'm okay, because I haven't mentioned any names. It was a large do-it-yourself stuff. So my advice is, if you're going to buy compost, get it from a well-known, get it from a garden centre, a good garden centre that supplies good soil, because as I said before, the stuff that I was using had obviously been mixed with household stuff, and it didn't do any good. Instead of making the plants grow, it killed them. The Preschia, that is a true cactus with leaves, and a Datura behind that, starting its winter's rest. Unfortunately, I had to break the roots of that when I lifted it up out of the garden, the pot where the roots had just grown through. Anyhow, that's it, it's greenhouse. Let's go and have a little look at Jean's plants. There certainly is a lot of interest in cacti and succulents. Wish we could get more people to join the society, but I know a lot of it's done online. Computers have taken over. Well, I can shout, I suppose. I'm on blinking YouTube most of the time. Well, I'm on it now making one. Let's have a look. Let's have a little look what we got next.